Hey, coach, man, what time is it?
Oh, Slim, you know what time it is. 6 o'clock. Straight up and down. It's HomeSpun Sports with Coach John Montgomery. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Welcome. Once again, you have tuned in to HomeSpun Sports. It's sports talk with just a twist of down-home wisdom. I'm your host, John W. Montgomery II, a.k.a. John 2, the coach. And I'm right here in good old Houston, Texas. Way up there in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with all my kin folks and friends. The last P in the shell. My showed up ride or die, my partner in crime. What's up, Slim?
Oh, chilling, coach. I'm in Dale City now.
Oh, go ahead, boy. No, you ain't.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's get into the coach.
Well, Slim, man, show number 31, dude. Our very special guest. I'm so excited to have this gentleman on our show. We go back a minute. Over 30 years, this guy has been my show enough ride or die. And in player evaluation, NFL front office business, this guy is top of the list. He's done it all now. Bill Belichick's New England Patriots. Bill Belichick has 6 rings. This gentleman has 3 of them. One as a player, he was on the World Championship team with the Washington Redskins. Mm-hmm. But more than that, he's a first-class guy.
Yeah.
Par excellence in his field of endeavor with player evaluations. But my show enough good and dear friend, recently retired from being the director of college scouting for the Dallas Cowboys among his many stops, and was so delighted that he would take time to come on our show. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, will you please make welcome my show enough partner, Lionel Vital.
John, you're the man, brother. You're in Slim. Hey, we go way back, brother. It's good to be on the show. I've followed you guys on a weekly basis. I'm a big fan, and I'm glad it worked out that I could come on here and be part of it.
Man, glad we are just so delighted, man, that you would take time out from your busy schedule. I know you're busy booking engagements because we're going to get into what you got going on with the Vital family.
Yes, sir.
In your motivational speaking and mentoring, what you're doing right now. But, man, Lionel, man, dude, I think it was 1994, and 1995. I'm at Alabama A&M. Slim, really, the year you were born, Mildred. It was the year you were born. We went up to, I was at Alabama A&M, and we went up as a staff as the Cleveland Browns guest. And you were in the Browns organization. Bill Belichick was head coach. Geez, Lionel. Nick Saban, defensive coordinator. Kurt Ferenz, head coach at Iowa, was the offensive line coach. That was an all-star staff. And that's where I first met you. And, man, we've been like peas and carrots ever since.
Absolutely. It's 30 years, man. Those years have been great to us, and they've flown by. And we've talked a lot of football, John. A lot of football, man. A lot of battles, you and I. A lot of epic battles, man.
We've had our moments. Real love. We've had our moments, to be sure. No
Mr. Vital. So, like my dad says, your beginnings, humble beginnings, kind of like a rags to riches situation. 4 Super Bowl rings, 1 as a player and 3 as a scout. take us through that journey. Like, what is that experience like? You know, to be like the upper echelon in your profession.
From
Man,
where you started, Lionel.
yeah. I started from nowhere. You know, they say you start from the mud. I started from the mud. I
Yeah.
If you told me I was going to have a 35-year career in the National Football League, I'd have laughed at you. I'd have said, "Are you kidding me?" I couldn't see that. Well, it worked out. We came up tough with my mother, young mom, and 4 sisters. We lived with our grandparents after my dad left. But my mom taught us to make no excuses. We made no excuses. And she's that same woman today. And she said, use all that stuff to have a chip on your shoulder, to help you to inspire you. And that's what I've done in life. You know, I don't never felt bad about anything. I just use it I channel everything to get me going, man. I live with a chip. I am a chip. That's what I do. And so worked hard, got to Nicholls State, my only scholarship, Little Nicholls State. And then
What's your
from Nicholls,
hometown, Lionel? What was your hometown?
my hometown, little town called Laurelville, Louisiana. It's a town outskirts of Lafayette, about 20 minutes from Lafayette. So I tell people I'm from Lafayette half of the time to make a long story short, but I'm from that little town, Laurelville. And from Laurelville, went to Nicholls State, go to Nicholls State for 4 years, and I get drafted by the Redskins. You tell me you're getting drafted? They told me my junior year, the scouts are looking at you. And I almost fell off a rocker, man. I was like, what? And next, I get drafted. And I'll go with the Redskins for a couple of years. I spent most of my time on the injured reserve. And then I bounced around the NFL a little bit. I went to Buffalo from there, injured reserve, inactive. And then I went up to Canada for a couple years. And from Canada, I just fell into a scouting job. They called me and said they're looking for a young scout to develop. And preferably they wanted to get some minorities in scouting because back then there weren't many. And so I get a call from Thomas Dimitrov's daddy. And he says, hey, I think I could get you an interview with the Cleveland Browns. And his dad was working with the Browns then. So I got an interview right as I got cut. I get cut from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And Thomas happened to be our scout. Thomas Dimitrov, Atlanta Falcons, was our scout. And he said, my daddy said they're looking for a scout for the Browns. And so I go interview for the Browns and with Bill Belichick and Ernie Corsi and all those guys. And I'm not thinking I'm going to get a job. So I interview, and I want to say I failed the interview. But Bill liked my honesty. He says, hey, man, you didn't try to be what you weren't. And he says, I like that. So they hired me 3 days later. So next thing you know, I'm in the NFL, a scout. And I bounced around with several teams. Went from Cleveland to the Jets to Baltimore to New England, Atlanta, and I ended up my career in Dallas 35 years later. So I just took the ride. It happened for me. That's what I try to tell the kids. Just go with it. Just give it what you got because good things can happen. My mom said, treat people right. And that's all I had going for me. I worked my butt off and I treated people right. That's all I knew. And that was, straight down the middle. So that's how it happened, 35 years.
The old folks say, what's in you gonna come out you.
Heard that.
Ain't no trade. So the training that your mother instilled in you as a child has served you well throughout the National Football League. I've said this to many people about my friend Lionel Vitale. You could be around this guy. If you met him at 8 o'clock in the morning, by the time your head hit the pillow, 10, 11 o'clock at night, if you spent a day with this guy, you would never know that he got 5 Super Bowl rings in his possession. You'd never know that. I mean, dude where you came from your story, man, it's phenomenal. Lionel, we are 18 days from the draft.
I missed one more time, John.
I said we're 18 days from the draft. 18 days. And when the draft is, when the NFL drafting, they're advertising it there right now. You know, it's the thing to advertise. Everybody talking about the draft, NFL draft, mock draft here, mock draft there. When they air that show, they're going to show war rooms all over all 32 teams.
Right.
Now, you've been there. I've seen the pictures of you and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and I've seen the pictures of you in the war room at Atlanta, you in the war room at the Ravens, you in the war room with Dallas. Take us in a war room, like.
Well, you know, a lot of wheels are turning right now. Right now, it's about collaboration with the scouts and the personnel department and the coaching staff, along with the general manager and ownership. So everybody's getting in a room, and this is the time of the year where you have to come together, because you fight about players and you have divide through the process. But as you get closer to the draft, what you try to do is everybody get on the same page, because once you draft that young man, he's yours. So you don't want any bad energy in that building. When you draft him, he's ours. Win, lose, or draw. Okay. So right now we're looking for collaboration. We want to be on the same page, and we want to get the guys right that we all like. There may be a couple guys that half of them like, half of them don't like. We probably won't go with him, but the ones we all like, we're going to make a decision on those guys.
Lionel, there's something that you taught me early on in my coaching career, and I would call Slim. I'd be coaching at Alabama A&M, Savannah State, University of Cincinnati, Nevada, Las Vegas. I call Lionel. Lionel, I got a kid who can play. Yeah, for real, John? Tell me about him. Well, his name is so-and-so and so-and-so. John, he can play? Yeah, Lionel, he can play. Lionel, I'm telling you now, this kid can play in the NFL. Lionel would say, don't tell me that, John. I'm not. I want to know, can he make our team better?
Better. Yep.
Yeah, that's very accurate. As a personnel guy or scout, well, the good ones anyway, your deal is not to bring guys, draft guys and say, oh, we drafted 6 guys or 8 guys, and the guys are just on your team. They made our team. Who cares? Did they make your team better?
That's what I'm talking about.
Can you win with him? Can he do something to impact that game on Sunday? If he can't do that, if he's just on your roster, he's hurting you.
Okay,
so my thing was, if I'm going to recommend a guy, that's something he can do for our team to help us win on Sundays, because you end up staying with that team because you win. When you lose, they look at you and say, wait, you're helping us to bring bad guys in here. So I want guys who can help make us better. I don't care about guys getting drafted. I want guys who can help our team get better.
One more thing that you taught me, and you said you got it from Bill Belichick. It's Slim. He's like you told me one time, and I know you remember this, Lionel. You said that when you were at New England and you guys had all your picks lined up, okay? Are we in agreement that if this guy's available at 1, this is who we're taking? All the way down. If we got 5 picks, 7 picks, 8 picks, 9, it didn't make no difference. We're all in agreement that if he's available, that's who we're taking. Then you said that Bill Belichick would go down each name and ask everybody in the room, what, in your opinion, will this man do once we make him wealthy?
Mm-hmm.
I missed half of it. I didn't hear all of it, but you said something about Bill Belichick going around the room and asking our opinion about a player.
Once we make him rich, what's he gonna do?
Yeah, once we make him rich, the question is, okay, can we depend on him?
That's what I want to hear.
Is he a guy we could go to war with? Because a lot of these guys, You see, when you get rich, when you become rich, you got a chance to be exactly who you are. If you're a jerk, you're going to be really a jerk when you're rich.
There you
If you're a
go.
You're a
good
big jerk.
guy, you're going to be really a good guy when you're rich. Money only enhances who you are. Okay, you can't fake it. It's too hard to walk around faking it. So you got all the money now. If you're a jerk, you're gonna be a jerk. If you're a good dude, you're gonna be a good dude. So yeah, I learned that along the way. That's one of the nuggets I picked up throughout my career, dealing with these players, all these thousands of players I evaluated over my career, and just listening to the different staffs talk. Yeah, you are who you are,
Yeah, yeah.
especially once you have money in your pocket.
Ain't no question. Ain't no question. And that always impressed me. And obviously is one of the reasons that Bill Belichick has been so successful, because, you know, and Lionel, he took it to another level, you know, his depth in reasoning and the people that were around him. Lionel, what was it like? Go back to your time with the Browns. I mean, dude, you in a meeting every day with Bill Belichick, Nick Saban. I mean, and you right there stride for stride with them guys. What was that like?
What was it? Yeah.
When I went to Cleveland, Nick was our defensive coordinator, so I got a chance to be in a lot of. They would let us go in the meetings and listen to those guys coach. So I got a chance to see Nick. I got a chance to see Bill do his thing. Kirk Ferentz was our offensive line coach. We had a lot of really elite coaches.
Ozzie
So I
Newsome.
got to
You
all
and
these
Bill.
guys. All these guys have different styles. Every one of them. Okay, but the one commonality that I would say that they all are is you cannot be a BSer. They want guys they can depend on. It starts with dependability. You can have all the skills in the world. If you're not dependable, they're not dealing with you. You know,
Coach,
they talk about the Patriot way and all that, meaning what he's saying is, you better get it done, and you better get it done our way, or you won't be of any service to us. And that's really what I learned from that that regime, that system.
No question.
what's the greatest ability, Coach?
Dependability. The greatest ability. Dependability. So now, Lionel, you are taking all of your experiences and all of your exposures and going into high schools and any facility I imagine that you can get in front of with the Vital family. How did you come up with that idea to do that?
Okay, John, that is not something that I came up with during the pandemic with nothing to do. This is
Okay.
something I've been planning now for about at well over 10 years.
Okay.
And the reason I said I wanted to do that, reach kids, because I came up like one of those kids who knew nothing. I did not have mentorship growing up. For my first, I want to say my first 14 years, I didn't have any mentorship. My grandfather was an older gentleman, and he passed away when I was 7 years old. So I had
Okay.
no man in the house. If I didn't
Oh my goodness.
gain mentorship when I went to the ninth grade, this coach really picked me up. Richard Picani, I'm gonna say that name. And he really picked me up when I got in the ninth grade, and I learned everything from him. Not just football. I think the most important thing that a kid can learn, you're gonna learn football. You get that. But as a coach, as a leader, as a mentor, I think the most important thing is teaching that kid life, because
Amen,
that he
brother.
can take to other places. So all
Amen,
the
brother.
things I've learned from my mentors, my coach, that coach, and other coaches as I went on, I'm going to give it back to kids. Okay?
Mm,
I'm going to give the kids an advantage. I'm going to give it to family members. I'm going to give it to anybody who wants to hear, other coaches. Okay? I'm not just going to take this stuff to the grave with me.
yeah.
No, I want to go out and help and reach as many people. We're going to hit all 50 states. Okay? We're hitting all 50 states. And this is not a money grab like I'm going to go to some state and just focus on being in. Texas has 4,000 high schools, over 4,000 high schools. Okay?
Okay.
Not even talking about the junior highs. If I
Okay.
want to just make a living, I could just sit in Texas for 3 years and do this. That is not what I'm trying to do. Okay? I want to get my share in Texas and reach them. Then I want to go to the next state, Oklahoma,
There you go.
Missouri, of course, my state, Louisiana. And I want to just keep circling this country. I want to reach kids. That's the legacy, John, that I want to leave. Okay? That Lionel went out and he didn't just learn all this stuff and he took it with him. Lionel tried to reach people, help people. And that's my whole thing. And I got a great family. I got a great team with me. I've got 2 daughters, 2 nieces,
Okay.
and I've got a buddy, a friend of mine who's involved. And they're helping me with the bookings. They're doing all the callings. They're setting me up with all the social media stuff. And right now, all we're doing is booking for the fall. We're booking because we're going to hit this thing at the end of, I'm going to do some camps this summer. I've got some assignments,
Okay.
but my big thing is going to really take off in 2 days, our early camp. When you come in, you talk to the kids,
Man,
you hit them for about 20 minutes, a half hour. That's
there
when
you
I
go.
come in and I'm going to hit them hard with a lot of things that can help them get to the next level. When
Lionel,
I say next
is there a
level, the next
website?
level of life.
Is there a website?
Yeah. Our website is DelanoVitelTeam.com. If you go on the website and you can get all the information. We have a lot of things on there. Also, a Facebook is Lionel Vitel Team. Yeah. So, and John, I'll post it. I'll have everything posted on my site that people can pick up more information. So
And
that's
we do know this, my friend, that we are going to post that on this podcast. It'll be on my Facebook page. Slim gonna put it on his Facebook page,
great.
and we are going to let the audience know that's such a great need for young men to be mentored. And Lionel, and we talked about it, dog. We've talked about this, you and I, for years. What you're doing now is you're blessed to be a blessing. You're blessed to be a blessing. They say a bell ain't a song ain't a song till you sing it. A bell ain't a bell till you ring it. Love wasn't put in the heart to stay. Love was put in the heart to give away. And my brother, you are going to put it out there, and I know you're going to be successful. Mentoring.
Thank you. Hey, listen, John. It's a lot of work. It's a grind. We're building this thing up. We're doing it the right way. But I'm in it. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm excited. I wake up every day. I'm making calls. I'm connecting. It's fun, and I'm reaching people. So I'm right where I want to be. I think it's a great situation, and look forward to doing this.
Oh, my brother, I have no doubt that you're not going to be highly successful in this. Your story is motivational beyond words. And can't nobody tell it but you.
Oh, no doubt. One thing I'll tell people, and I'm going to be doing a lot of posting, a lot of quotes on my website and on all sites as I go. I've got a ton of stuff. You guys, some really dynamic stuff that I'll be putting out there. I haven't done it yet because I've been really on the road. And so when I get to that part of the progression, I'm going to post every day. I'm going to post. There's a lot of things I can help, a lot of nuggets I picked up from a lot of different people that I can help to deliver.
Last thing for you get out of here, Lionel. You kicking flavor with that shirt, man. We kind of been picking it up the whole interview. I just had to say something because I'm a shirt guy. It's saucy.
Thank you. Slim, I grabbed the first one I could put my hand on it, and it popped in my hand.
Yeah, okay.
And it worked out that way. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it, though, man. You guys are the best.
Hey, now LV, I know you're going to book dates in Houston, Texas.
Yes.
Bro, now look here. You know my address. You got my phone number. Let me know. We gonna pull the cover down and fluff the pillow. Okay?
No doubt.
We looking for you.
No doubt.
All right,
we can't have chicken wings, John.
Okay. we
that doesn't work anymore, John. We can't do that. We've worked too hard We've worked too hard to get it right, man. We can't kill it with chicken wings anymore.
We're going to hook it up, bro. Lionel, thanks so much, man. We love
Take
having
care,
you.
Lionel. Take care.
Appreciate it. Much love, Slim,
Yes,
John.
sir.
Hey, talk to you guys soon, okay?
All
Okay,
right,
big
take
guy.
care.
Thanks, Lionel.
All right.
Appreciate you, man.
Have a good one.
Much love. Wow.
Build it up, and now it's solid as a rock, Coach.
Hey, and let me tell you, man, this guy is qualified to do it, no question. He has a story that will motivate. And let me tell you, I'm excited with what God's going to do with this guy. So now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's time for Slim's Pickings. Go ahead, bro.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Hey, Coach wants to see you and bring your playbook. Now, those words are something an athlete never wants to hear. He or she, in this case, as it pertains to Monday, April 4th, when the head women's volleyball coach at Grambling State cut all 19 of her scholarship athletes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea Lucas, a Grambling alum, also made some stops at Alcorn State and the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Now, her reputation precedes her as a hardline, my way or the highway type of coach. But Chelsea Lucas went on to inform all the incoming prospect athletes that their scholarships will be null and void. In support of this act, the athletic director at Grambling State, Travion Scott, went on to say, just as the transfer portal empowers student athletes, it also empowers head coaches. We also empower our head coaches to make any changes to advance their programs. Yeah, right. Now, bear this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. This is the same man who went on record saying, yes, Hugh Jackson, that is an excellent hire. Hire Art Briles as our offensive coordinator. Yeah, that's the same guy. Now, speaking of Hugh Jackson, he was also quoted on the first day of his spring game saying, man, if we just had $5 million, we could change this whole entire program around. I guarantee it, we could change the face of it. Okay, Hugh Jackson, 3 things. First, you've had 2 NFL head coaching jobs at the Cleveland Browns and the Raiders. You've also been an assistant 7 times in the National Football League. One would think, after all that exposure, you know how to generate some revenue. 2, you should have thought about fundraising from Grambling alumni before you hired Art Briles, or tried to, excuse me. And 3, I sure in the hell hope you don't expect any kind of money from the 2021 women's volleyball scholarship parents. Stay tuned, sports fans. And that's Slim's Pickens.
Bravo, young man. You brought that thing home. Ain't no question. Hey, Slim, I sure in the hell, I'm like you. You gonna be fundraising. I know good and hell well you ain't gonna ask no money from them parents of them 19 kids that Chelsea Lucas cut off scholarship.
Because Coach, if I'm a 3-year starter at Grambling State and my child just got cut up and you want some money? Man, please.
But Slim, check this out. All right, now Chelsea Lucas, okay? And Slim, is it me or did that woman look just like Lil' Kim?
You noticed it too?
Slim, that woman out of class, that woman looked just like Lil' Kim. When I saw her, I said, that's Lil' Kim. But
it's the lace front, Coach. It's the lace front.
But Slim, this lady has a 1-loss record of 52 wins and 28 losses.
Okay, hey, Coach, that's a percentage of 27.7%.
Bingo. Now, understand this. She's had 2 stops prior to landing her alma mater job. She's a Gramblinite. She went to Grambling, okay?
Yeah.
She was at Alcorn and she was at Pine Bluff, UAPB.
Yep.
And in them 2 stops, in 180 contests, she ain't won but 52 of them. She lost 128. Excuse me, Chelsea Lucas, okay? Because understand something. Let's keep this thing slim. We're going to keep it 100.
We're going to keep 100, Coach. We'll keep 100.
Slim. D1 sports come down to one undeniable, infallible fact.
Who got the best black athlete?
Who got the most and the best black athletes? Okay. Now, before you sit there and go, oh, he's a racist. No, the great Paul Bear Bryant proved that in 1970.
In that 30 for 30 documentary, Coach?
No, it's called Against the Tide.
Against the Tide.
Against the Tide. All right.
Yeah.
But Bear Bryant in 1970, head coach at the University of Alabama, sitting on a untapped, vast wealth of African-American talent, and well, he knew it. At the same time, the governor of Alabama, George Wallace, was saying segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. Now, here's Bear Bryant, Paul Bear Bryant, the great Paul Bear Bryant, knowing that he got to win and sitting on all this vast talent. So he goes around the back door, picks up the phone, calls John McKay, head football coach at Southern Cal, highly integrated Southern Cal in 1970.
Yep.
And basically invites his friend John McKay to bring his Southern Cal Trojans to Legion Field and whip his ass. Good.
And that's what they did.
And that's what they proceeded to do. In fact, Slim, this ass whipping was so thorough that people in the stands were quoted as saying, Coach Bryant need to get him some of them Negro boys. Okay? So, and Slim, it don't make no difference. And it ain't just at Alabama, wherever. Okay, that's a known fact. You got the most black talent in D1, you're gonna win. Now, on the other side of the coin,
in black college football.
Oh, come on, partner.
It's all about who got the best coaches. Because y'all all got about the same black athlete.
Thank you. And Slim, I can give you case after case after case. Okay.
So can I, Coach. In basketball, John Chaney.
Temple. Thank you. Nurtured at Cheney State.
Vivian Stringer.
Rutgers women's basketball also nurtured at Cheney State. Slim, Vivian Stringer and John Chaney were on the court at Cheney State at the same time, sharing the court.
Sure was, Coach. Again, big shout out, but Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles, head football coach, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But Slim, his first D coordinator job, Morehouse College. Then he went to Grambling with Doug, 98 and 99. Bingo, good one.
John Hendrick, Coach. Your roommate.
My ride or die. Look, my roommate at Pitt, okay? South Florida, Kansas State. John Hendrick learned to coaching the offensive line at Southern University in 1986, and he was head coach at Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina, and hired me there. No question.
John Chavis.
Just so you won't think it's a black thing, the chief, you dadgum Skippy. John Chavis, D coordinator, Texas A&M, University of Arkansas, University of Tennessee, LSU. But John Chavis and I were assistants under Ray Green at Alabama A&M in 1980, and then John Chavis coached at Alabama State later on. No question.
Coach, Ray Green.
My mentor, my good and dear friend, North Carolina Central and Alabama A&M. No question.
Coach, Charles Huff.
A superstar up and coming in coaching. And we're going to get Charles Huff on our show. But Charles Huff, currently the head coach at the Thundering Herd. Marshall University. Also was an assistant on Nick Saban's last national championship team, but got his start in coaching at Tennessee State. Later went to Hampton.
Hey, Coach, what about Woodrow McCorvey?
The homer, the Woodrow McCorvey, no question about it. One of the most widely respected men in coaching, black or white. Currently, Dabo Swinney's right-hand man at Clemson, but coach wide receivers at Tennessee, South Carolina, been all over the SEC. Started at Alabama A&M with me in 1979 and was with Woodrow McCorvey at North Carolina Central before they came there. No question.
Now, Coach, Hugh Jackson around here asking for $5 million with his hand out talking about, oh, $5 million is going to change the program. I guarantee it. What?
Yeah.
Excuse me. First of all, they brought you there to be that shot. What did Doug Williams say when we had him on our show, Coach?
Doug Williams came on our show and we asked him about the Grambling job. And because I didn't miss my position, I was for Byron Brown. Still am for Byron. Still am for Byron Brown. But that's a whole nother story. But Doug said Grambling need a shot in the arm. Okay? Well, Hugh Jackson, like you said, Slim, you had 2 NFL head coaching jobs, the Raiders and the Browns. Been an assistant in the NFL at 7 different spots. Seven different spots. Now hold up. You're supposed to be able to do more than beg, okay?
It's supposed to be a call away, Coach.
Coach, see, because I guarantee you this much. John Gruden was head coach of the Raiders, just like Hugh Jackson was head coach of the Raiders. Now, the Davis family, Al Davis, the late, great Al Davis, he hired him, then fired him, and then his son, I think Mike was the guy, Mike Davis, got the owner, brought him in. Now, I'm going to ask you this, Slim. If John Gruden was head coach of Grambling, John Gruden was the head coach at Grambling, how many million do you think he could get if he just picked up the phone and said, hey, Brother Davis, it's your boy John Gruden. I'm the head coach at Grambling, man. I need some help down here. I need some money, man. I need some money.
Coach, he sent him a blank check. He sent him a blank check, Coach.
Look. The difference between Hugh Jackson and Deion Sanders is when Deion Sanders walked in the door, Slim, I guarantee you he knew he had iFly in his hip pocket. He knew he had Under Armour sports apparel,
Subway
sandwiches, and Slim, them's just the ones we know about. Okay.
Exactly.
So my point
is, hey, Coach, and speaking of, Coach Prime has shared the locker room. He's got a lot of facilities that they just opened up, just renovated. I mean, Coach, he got a D1 in there.
See, and let's go back again. What I'm saying, he knew he had corporate America in his pocket, and so when he took that job, he walked up in an HBCU and went to work. Hugh Jackson walked up in an HBCU and gone to bed. That's the difference between the two. Yep. That's the difference between the two. But Slim, right back, before we get away from Lil' Kim, what's her name? Chelsea Luke. Yeah.
Come on, Coach.
See, understand something. Now, I want to make this point, make this perfectly clear, and I put this in my face. You got a fat nerve, lady, cutting 19 kids off scholarship before they even get to show what they can do on the court, because your record indicates that you're a loser. Okay? So, and HBCU sports is about coaching. It's about coaching. We just give you all that list. Let me tell you something, partner. The great Eddie Robinson said it. He put it this way. We've done so much with so little for so long. We feel now we can accomplish almost anything. Okay? So HBCU, you've all about got the same thing. Okay? And you ain't won but 52 out of 80 games, sweetheart. That's on you.
Yeah, absolutely right about that, Coach. Now, I know that in my pickings, I did not have my
an O-line
prospect.
You didn't get no prospect. Slim, you didn't get no prospect.
I ain't give you no prospect, coach. Now I apologize about that, but I'm gonna have to go with Keenan Forbes though, out of FAMU.
The offensive lineman.
6'3", like FAMU Rattler. Keenan Forbes, 6'3", 330 pounds. Man, this kid, he can move, coach. Now he's a guard. All right. As a matter of fact, ESPN reporter Steve Pioli.
Yeah, Scott Pioli.
Scott Pioli said this about Forbes. He said, this kid can move. He is explosive in his hips. He's got amazing footwork. All right. Any chance he'd be a 2-3 day guy. Most definitely, coach. But he'll make somebody better.
Okay.
He reminds me, coach. He reminds me of Larry Little. Larry Little from Bethune-Cookman.
All right then, now, Slim. That's fast company now.
That's fast company, coach. Bethune, like I said, Bethune-Cookman, San Diego Chargers. He starts his career. He ends it with the Dolphins. 2-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Pro Bowler, a part of the Miami Dolphins honor roll team, 1970s All-Decade team, and he was also Coach of the Year. Pro Football Hall of Famer, coach.
He is a Hall of Famer. He went back to his alma mater, Bethune-Cookman, and was a very successful coach at Bethune-Cookman. That's a good one, Slim. Slim, also a part of that last perfect team. The last
1972.
Thank you. Very wire to wire. Well, Slim, I'm going to tell you something. My favorite, all-time favorite, HBCU offensive lineman in the NFL is Jackie Slater. Now I'm gonna tell you something.
Jackie Slater.
Slim. I got a personal story about Jackie Slater. Since 1974. And I'm starting outside linebacker. I'm an edge rusher, Slim.
Yeah.
Now Slim, understand something. I wasn't good enough to play for money. I ain't trying to say that I was. But I tell you this much. John and Doris Montgomery didn't have to pay nothing to go send me to school. Okay.
Hey. That's what I'm talking about, coach. That's what I'm talking about.
So we playing Jackson State, and Jackie Slater is playing left tackle, and I'm an edge bender, and it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12. Everybody knows it's a passing down. The ball is snapped. Jackie does his vertical set, and my coach told me, said, you got to get your hands on him to break his square. Tie him up before he sets up. So Jackie sets up, he's vertical setting, and I grab for him, Slim, to pull and break the square, and Slim, pow! Man, he punched me right in the face mask. And Slim, dude, he gave me another further, okay? Mildred.
Oh, you ain't going no further, coach.
Mildred, my chin strap was over my eyes. He gave me a cone head. My helmet was sitting up here.
Coach, he put you in the jack?
Homeboy, starched and pressed.
Like the cleaners, coach.
Look here, Slim. The first thing that hit the ground was the back of my head. My feet shot forward. My head hit the ground. And it was pretty much a wrap for me for the rest of the day.
It was like a crash test dummy, coach.
Slow motion. Yeah, no question. Yeah, no question.
Now, look, coach, we got some professional NBA news to talk about, all right?
Come on.
Now, the playoffs are right around the corner. They start on the 16th, and we have no Los Angeles Lakers in the playoff. Coach, they ain't even in the play-in tournament. They ain't even in the play-in tournament. The Big Three experiment has failed. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook. They only played together for about 21 games this season, and of those 21, they only won 11. They finished 17 games under 500. In your opinion, Coach, who's to blame for this?
Well, first thing I'm going to blame LeBron James, because he assembled that hot garbage. He put all that together, okay? And they are hot garbage. But he orchestrated that roster. So the first person I'm going to blame LeBron. Second person I'm going to blame Anthony Davis. But before I blame Anthony Davis, I'm going to say this. I ain't going to blame Russell Westbrook, because Russell Westbrook couldn't shoot in Oklahoma City. Russell Westbrook couldn't shoot in Houston, Texas.
Nope.
And you brought him to LA and he still can't shoot. And you knew that. So Ain't no sense in you trying to look for he got game. What was the name say? He got game?
Scott, Jesus
Jesus.
Shuttlesworth, coach.
Jesus.
Jesus Shuttlesworth. No, Ray Allen. The Ray Allen. Ray Allen.
Yeah. It is what it is. But the main one I'm gonna blame, Slim, I'm gonna blame that boy Anthony Davis, and here's why.
Ooh, okay.
Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. And as a coach, I'm telling you, I know what the problem is. He done got out there in LA, and he done got fat, and he done got lazy, and he ain't conditioning, and he ain't training, okay? And that's exactly what's wrong with him, okay? He riding up and down Sunset Boulevard and Rodeo Drive. Hey, Slim, Frankie Beverly and Mays, they said, look at California. Yeah, that's what's wrong. Willie Jeffries would say, he put it this way, he done got fat. That's what done happened with Andy Davis. And see, here's the thing, Slim, here's the thing. Andy Davis is at this stage of his career, and at this stage of LeBron's career, Andy Davis is supposed to carry that team.
How many times, Coach, how many times has Anthony Davis been mentioned for an MVP? Like, when was the last time he was meant for an MVP or Defensive Player of the Year?
Thank you. And at this Slim, at this stage of his career, that's how you know he's the culprit right there. No question.
And in my opinion, Coach, what they're going to do is they're going to try to put the scapegoat's going to be Frank Vogel, the head coach, because you're not going to fire the GM. LeBron. No. You're not going to do that. And if they were going to get rid of Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook, they would have done that at the trade deadline.
No, you can't get rid of them. Contractually, they too far in with them. And don't be talking about bringing 76-year-old Phil Jackson back. All right.
That's what Kendrick Perkins. That's what them reporters tried to say. Well, since Frank Vogel's going to leave, why don't you try to bring in another legendary coach or something like that?
Yeah. No
They're
question.
too old to be dealing with these prima donnas.
No, that ain't gonna happen. No question.
Now in the NFL, Coach,
all right,
Brian Flores. I know you heard about this. He's added 2 more black coaches as plaintiffs in his suitcase. I'm talking about Coach Ray Horton and Steve Wilkes.
Yes,
what's your take?
He is, and that thing is gaining. is gaining momentum.
Yeah, it's getting traction now, Coach.
But the real thing that's gonna elevate this thing is, did you see what Mike Mularkey said?
I did.
Mike Mularkey.
He said, look, back in 2020, this entire process was fake. He's like, man, I got interviewed for a job and I already knew I had the position.
He landed the Tennessee Titan job in 2016. And he did. Reese just the other day said that I did an interview in 2020, and he said in that interview that hiring process was fake, wasn't nothing but smoke and mirrors, because he was told he had the job before the interview process even began.
Oh yeah, it's getting legs, Coach.
Oh, pardon me. You best believe it's getting legs. No question.
Man, look, Coach, it was a pleasure being in the studio with you again. Lionel Vitale was an amazing guest. It's good to have a familiar face in the studio.
Man, that's that guy, man, has been my show enough partner for years and years, and yours as well, Slim. No question.
Please tell Mom I love her, all right?
Slim, man, tell everybody up in good old Oklahoma City. Hey, man, go out there. We got a new grandbaby. Me and Andrew got a new grandbaby, man.
We do.
Go by there, Give little Kai V a big hug and a kiss from his pawpaw, okay?
Will do, Coach.
Take care. You, man. Take care, bro. And finally, the Temptations' David Ruffin sang, like a snowball rolling down the side of a snow-covered hill. It's growing. Like the size of a fish that the man claimed broke his reel. It's growing. Like a rosebud blooming in the warmth of a summer sun. It's growing. And like a tale by the time it's been told by more than one. It's growing. And so is Brian Flores' suit of racial discrimination against the National Football League in its hiring of head football coaches. When Mike Mularkey joined in the fray by saying that in an interview he did in 2020, that the hiring process was fake because he had the Tennessee Titan job in 2016. Now here's a man who 2 years before Brian Flores' suit ever came to be now says that the hiring practice of the National Football League is a joke. Why is it that when a black man makes a claim of racial injustice, that it suddenly gains credibility once a white man co-signs it? I'm just asking for a friend. And hey, that's how I see it. 6 o'clock, straight up and down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody crying wolf here, Coach. Listen, that's how we see it, and that's how it is. Thank God we get to do this again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Homespun Sports. Sports talk with a twist of down home wisdom. Be sure to check this episode not only on YouTube, but on Spotify and iHeartRadio for your listening and viewing pleasure. Make sure you got that bell turned on so you don't miss any of our videos when they come out to you. They're all live. They're all for real. They're all for you. And yeah, Coach, Lionel Vital was an amazing guest. We look forward to having you on again, sir. We look forward to a long and healthy relationship with you in the future.
No
hey,
question.
Coach, let's get up out of here, man.
Before we go, rest in paradise to my frat brother, Rayfield Wright, NFL Hall of Famer. My brother, you did major work. God rest your soul. Slim!
Talking about Dwayne Haskins.
He, and also rest in paradise, Dwayne Haskins. Slim, what he said.